This is Sean once again. I'm a little picture out here in the bottom right of the screen, and the reason I'm so small here is I want to make sure all the writing is up here. But y'all, I really want y'all to know that this is going to be about Facebook. Now, most y'all, if you see me now, you realize that I'm mainly doing YouTube. I'm staying really focused at YouTube. Some of y'all already know if you've seen any of my videos, or anything like that, that I was able to quit my job in 6 months with a phone. It's this same phone, if you can see the tiny picture down there, exact same phone, and a Facebook account. I've always said a Facebook account, but to be honest, I've got a couple of Facebook accounts. The reason why from the very beginning is because my family and friends, I was not a Facebook guy. And if I went there now today and looked, you still would be blown away by how I don't post. It's not the same person that I am today. I don't know how to even communicate with normal people like that. I've taught myself the last year and a half, man, there has not been an hour, there has been no less than an hour ever on Facebook. And I think that's necessary for you to start to really build a following, possibly. People get to connect with you and know that who you are. But I've gotten still 2 Facebook accounts, and I'm going to go over everything, and there's a lot of writing up here, y'all. Do not be intimidated. It's not that much. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything, because this is going to be the best teaching on Facebook I've ever done. Okay? I'm going to touch all subjects over here, and it's going to take as long as it takes. And if I was you, and I can tell you this, y'all, I'm not bragging about myself. Quitting a job with a phone, and I was making almost $60,000 a year in 6 months, and I didn't know what I was doing, supposedly. This was at a time where everybody else was not really doing Facebook, really. A lot of people said it was saturated, you can't get leads, anything like that. I don't know if you see it up here at the top in the red, y'all. I got 7,500 leads in 6 months with this technique. Okay, I was putting the hammer down. When I first found Facebook, the first thought that popped in my mind is, why can't I do it? I don't see why I shouldn't be able to do it. Facebook is not about getting seen, okay? I know that sounds weird because obviously you want to get seen in your business. Facebook is about standing out, okay? Now, you may hear me say different with YouTube, and I will. I'm going to do a video section just for that. Okay, the reason why I say that is, think of all the posts that you see in a Facebook group, okay? Think of all the ones you just scroll right past, especially in the groups like I'm talking about, where I'm talking about group posting, and stuff like that. Work at home opportunities, work from home opportunities, network marketing, anything like that, y'all. To me, those groups are all about standing out. So in my opinion, that's really what you're trying to learn to do. You're not worried about getting seen. You're going to get seen. Are you interested enough to get hit? That's really the question. And that's what all this is going to be about. The technique I came up with, y'all, came from a lot of effort. And when I actually quit my job, I'd reached a certain point. I actually went to #1 on a leaderboard in a business I was in, and that was my goal. And I'm glad we had a leaderboard. And I'm not bragging about the leaderboard as much as it made me motivated to want to learn how to do something and be #1 at it. And at that time, everybody was using everybody was using YouTube. And I really got a chance to observe some of the really top guys. Steve Riddell, Mark Crosby, Chuck Bolet are the 3 that usually comes to mind in my eyes as far as, monsters in the YouTube world. And I guess I'd probably be about the only one that really comes to mind for them in the Facebook world. So I was a little different, than the rest of the people, but it worked to my advantage, to be honest. I was just about there by myself. Lead numbers, y'all, got anywhere between 60 to about 119 leads. I could think of several times I had 119 leads in a day. So I'm going to talk about a bunch of stuff in here, y'all. So listen, y'all, I just want you to really grasp the concept of it. It's really, really simple, but you've got to learn to think the right way, okay? So I'm going to go over the golden rules. I'm going to teach you certain things you got to think about and how to get yourself set up in this. If you're day one starting, and I didn't, I had a brand new Facebook account. What do I need to do? Okay, so we're going to start with that first. Okay, so if you look over here on the right, y'all, number one thing I do is the groups I join, y'all, never have less than 25,000 people in. Why is that? If Facebook is going to limit you to the amount of times you can get out per day, if Facebook is going to go through the trouble to understand at least, you know, how auto posters are working, and y'all, until about March of last year, people were killing the auto posters. And I had one, I had a couple of them, matter of fact. And my idea was get a couple of Facebook accounts, get out there and get seen, and bam, I'm going to set this bad boy up. Because, see, I was still working 65 hours a week. How else am I going to get seen? You understand what I'm saying? So that was the dilemma, and I found the solution, right? The most I got in a day was like 36 leads or something like that. And we weren't long at all that Facebook crunched down on the auto posters. And when that happened, it depressed me, because I was like, well, what in the world am I going to do now? I don't have the time to be doing this, right? Well, I was wrong. Thank God that I didn't roll over and just died, you know, because even though 35, 36 leads weren't that much, to be honest, it was the best I'd ever done. You know, using the auto posters, I had gotten the most I'd ever got before, when I really first started Facebook, was about 10 leads, 10, 11, 12 leads a day. But I was hooked to them. You know, I would give them my full attention, so I was still getting commissions, even though there was such a small number of leads. Sometimes, y'all, it's not about the lead numbers, okay? Now, my opinion, now this is only on group posting. All this right here, y'all, is group posting. This is not talking about your timeline. And I'm going to do another one on timeline law, because I do not treat them the same. I do not. Number one thing I've got, y'all, is I went and made another Facebook account just for this, just to learn how to do this. And nobody really knows about this account. I mean, obviously they see me out there posting or whatever, but I don't do it very often right now. I don't really need to. My YouTube is getting me a good ratio of people of high quality, and I don't need to really spend my time doing this. But if y'all are just starting off, this is definitely what I would learn to do. I absolutely do not bypass this. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Groups of 25,000 people minimum always. The plus 20 active. Okay, if you've got groups to your left, if you ever notice there's a number right here, and the highest number it goes to is 20. Now, if you post a post and then leave and go to your, go to another group or something, if you look over here to the left, you'll see there's a 0 right here. Nobody has posted yet. Now, when I go to the next group and I post and then I come back, I want to keep an eye on this 20 plus. Okay. The reason I'm doing that is because that shows me activity of the group. Now, if I'm only going to have about 15 to 20 Facebook groups, you know what? I need to put that right here. I sure do. It'll be all right. You're right. It's okay. It's fine. I thought I covered everything, but it's fine. I want you just listen to me real good. Never join more than 10 groups in a day ever. Okay. I know some of y'all are going to be excited. You're going to say, all right, here we go. Bam. It's a shame that Facebook does this to you, but if you join more than 10 groups in a day, they will put you in Facebook jail. It's very possible. Do not try it. And so many people are excited. They want to do what I'm doing, and that's the very first thing they screw up, and the next thing you know, they're sitting in jail. Facebook jail would mean potentially that you're not going to be able to post in groups. And this one, it could potentially mean that you can't join groups. Some Facebook is going to be that you can't put likes or friend people. It's all sorts of different Facebook jails. But this one, most common, y'all, is going to be the one where you're out there posting and they're just going to say that you're posting too much. And sometimes they give you a warning, sometimes they won't. I've seen them do before, if they thought they had a reason to, that they would ask for some kind of ID. So that's a potential that could happen as well. As far as Facebook jail goes, I've also seen them where they do a CAPTCHA. Okay, now that's the next thing right here. Never do the CAPTCHAs. I owe this to Karen Petty. She's absolutely right about this. Even though they're asking you, are you a real person? And I'm not talking about the picture of find the 3 waterfalls, if you ever seen that before, or anything like, or 3 lions, or whatever they're asking. What you need to look at is going to be find the is to type in the captcha to see if you're real. For some reason, I don't know why, but Facebook, doesn't matter if you get it right or wrong or whatever you do, they still throw you in Facebook jail with that one. I don't know if it's a glitch, if they're playing with you, they're trying to make you mad. I have no idea. Just don't ever do the captchas. What you do, look y'all, if I'm in the middle of a $1,000 sale and all I got to do is mash this button right here on Facebook, and they pop up that captcha, guess what I'm going to do? Shut down the browser. I'm not going to say nothing to the cat because it ain't worth going to Facebook jail for 2 weeks or however long they do them now. Sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's 2 weeks. I was used to seeing 2 weeks at a time. And it's just not worth it, y'all. This is your, this is your bloodline. This is your connection to your people. So you do not want to do the captchas. Okay, y'all, I am going to take 2 seconds. I am going to get some water or something to drink. I'll be right back. Okay, I had to get something to drink. I knew that I was going to be talking a lot. And that might be good or bad for y'all. I don't know. Okay, but here we go. Talking about the captcha, y'all. Obviously, make sure that you don't do the captchas. And shut it down. 15 minutes at minimum. I would come back an hour, go do whatever you got to do. Wash your clothes, wash the dishes, wash the car. Just don't get on Facebook. When you come back, the captcha will not be there. You don't have to worry about anything. It's just something that Facebook does. I don't think anybody even knows why they do it, but they do it. Okay, they've been doing that for a while. Y'all, this is very important right here. Post at the right times and seasonal consideration. Okay. If I'm going to be doing group posting, now this is just group posting, not timeline at all. If I'm doing any group posting, what you'd want to do is find out what time works best for you, for the people who seems to be the leads coming through. What times are this plus 20 go up the quickest? Okay. Now, the best way for me to find that out is, and I know a lot of y'all are probably going to not believe this, I've got 17 and at times 18 Facebook groups total that I do. And y'all, I always do it with this. I do it with my phone. The phone is so much easier. I can lay on the couch. I'm comfortable. I can take my little boy to the park. I've got a cord that is 10 feet long. And it's like it's thick. It is really thick. And it's perfect for what, for if I want to take it somewhere or something like that. I've got one in my truck the same way. I remember the first day I quit my job and my little boy was at school and I went to the little pond. Now I opened the doors and I had my legs stretched out and I just sit back. It just felt so good to be free. But I wanted to keep going, posting. And that's exactly what I did. So to me, I think the phone is just so accessible. It just works out really well. I get so tired sitting right here at the computer the whole time where I could be laying on the couch watching YouTube. A lot of times I have the blanket on me, the cat's asleep on my legs, ceiling fan going. It's cozy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting a crap load of leads at the same time. So I would highly suggest using your phone, or at least taking into consideration of doing that and figuring out how to do it. Okay, I'm going to tell you some more things about it as well. So again, y'all, I wouldn't do less than 15 groups, and I would not do more than 20 groups. Okay, the reason that is such a good number is because the technique I'm going to show you is not going to necessarily just be this ad right here. It may be a second one underneath it. And how it works together is, I don't want you to overwhelm your Facebook account and go to Facebook jail. You know what I'm saying? Now, the weird part is I can do this every day, never get hit by it, and then the next person comes along and they go to Facebook jail. Why? I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? I really can't control what Facebook does, and there will be times, y'all, where you may possibly get in Facebook jail. Don't fuss at me about it. I'm going to tell you that. That's just how Facebook is. I never post in groups. I was posting on my timeline recently, and it says it looks like you're doing this wrong. Sometimes I think they just screw up. I don't know. So just keep that in mind and consideration. Okay. Now, talking about the seasonal. To me, between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock on the East Coast is the deadest time to post. Okay. So in my opinion, and if it's the winter time or any time that's not June, July, maybe even a little bit of August, y'all, summertime, 5 o'clock to 5:30 in the evening, you want to go ahead and start posting. That starts a little wave going. It really starts helping you, to go ahead and get out there in front of the people. Go all the way through your list. Go ahead and hit all 17, 18, 20 Facebook groups, whatever you got. And it could be a copy paste, y'all. You're not going to be typing all that stuff in, and have a good picture out there. And then so you can go all the way through that list one time. Okay? Now, people are going to start asking. You're going to have notifications. You're going to have all sorts of things going on up there, right? So when that takes place, y'all, you're going to start answering back at the right time. Okay? Now, the reason I'm going to say seasonal, I'm going to explain something else to you in just a second. Let's say that I build up in the morning time and I got a nice wave going, and 2 o'clock it dies. And I know it dies. It always dies at 2 o'clock here on the East Coast for some reason. Okay, if somebody's asking for notification about, hey, I really want to do this job, send me some information, whatever they say in the post, you know, down here in the messages section down here, that's great. But what I've learned, y'all, is if I'm really on the roll and I'm real consistent about this, you got to be real smart about this. Okay, the way you're really smart about this is you want to answer back at a time that's going to be the most efficient way for you to get leads. 2 o'clock, if I answer back to this person, it's going to bring that post to the top, but who's going to see it? There's nobody going to see it, right? So what I learned is, even though I get asked at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, I'm not going to answer back yet. I'm just going to let it sit there. Now, I'm not being disrespectful in any way, form, or fashion. That's fine. But the reason why I'm doing that is, at 5 o'clock or 5:30, if I have 3, 4 people, 1, 2, whatever I've got down there asking for information, it enriches my post. Okay? So whatever my post is doing, it's going to enrichen it. And then also when I go, when I put a comment there, it's going to bring it back to the top again. Now, if you had to choose between the same post, the brand new one, where the only thing you're going to do, and you always put a like underneath your comment, always, don't never not. You always put a like underneath your comments and your post, okay, always. That's a given. In the eyes of Facebook, the more comments and the more likes you have, the more successful that post is, okay? Understand, you want to stand out. You want to learn to enrich in your post, and that's what I'm about to tell you, and it's going to make a tremendous difference in what you're in Facebook. Secondly, I've seen posts or posters who were better than I was, yet they weren't getting the leads I was. Okay? The reason why is I was smart about what I was doing down here between the comments and the likes. All right, so there's a big difference in that. So I'm going to cover some of that in just a second too. Okay, your actual message itself, y'all, you want to be creative, you want to be sincere, you want to be personal, show accomplishments. Those are things that you're looking for, okay? Now, let's say, now this is real important. I've got a certain strategy that I keep in mind as soon as I come into a business, and it's my fallback. And this fallback works for me very well. Okay, excuse me. Okay, brand new business. I have no commissions. I have nothing. So what am I going to do to impress people? Well, I learned this one, and it was incredible. That really is what changed my life, if anything. I was putting out for 2 weeks trying to get on Facebook, try to figure it out, and I wasn't getting a lot of lead numbers at that time, the very first 2 weeks. And I knew I wasn't going to quit because I knew I was getting seen. I just was not putting the combination together. What did I need to do to stand out? And that's really what my gears were turning in my head. I knew that. And you know what? I realized that I was a little bit trying to be guru man or guru guy or guru girl. You know, I was trying to impress people or something. I don't know what I was trying to do. And I think this causes a lot of what the other people are doing around you. You know what I'm saying? And they always look like they had just taken a picture out the back office and said, stamp, there you go, there's my business, put my link, bam, there you go. You know. And what I learned was, when I got mad with it because I couldn't figure it out, and I really wanted this to work, I was like, you know what, I gotta let go. I gotta let go. I gotta show people that this means something to me. How am I gonna do that? You know, exactly how am I gonna do that? I wrote the most sincere thing I've probably ever written on at Facebook at that time. I know it was. And I put on the very top, listen alert, listen alert, listen alert. I think it's about 2 or 3 times up here because I knew it would grab attention. And then right below it, I was like, I told them about how excited I was about my new business and that the fact that I hadn't been there long. Then I told them about I could already see light at the end of the tunnel. I was already making pretty good money, and I wasn't lying. I was making good money, but I was doing it with YouTube a little bit, and wasn't getting high lead numbers or anything. And I really wanted to stay focused at Facebook. So I talked about my little boy and what it would mean to me to being free from a job, being able to eat with him every day at school. I remember that was a big thing for me. No, I wouldn't miss field trips. I've never been able to go to a field trip, because of work, family get-togethers, anything like that. That's what I put in that message. And it hit home. It hit home with a lot of people. And not only that, I learned that I always put my link inside them. Always. You always put your link in there, y'all. I don't care what anybody else says. I know some people's techniques on this. We're talking about that too, but you don't want to do this. You want that link to hit. Okay, you want that link to be hitting. Now, down here at the picture, I did a personal picture of me and my little boy. And if y'all have seen any of my videos, you've seen that same picture over there. It's the one where he's waving and, sitting there. I'm a single dad. Most of the time I'm behind the camera. I don't get many pictures of my little boy, to be honest, with me and him together. Usually it's just him. And that stays like that a lot of the times. And that was a YouTube video, and it meant a lot to me. He was just really sweet. He'd come in here at the last minute, Daddy, can I be in there with you? And I said, yes. And he sat there with me, and it was just really sweet. And I just got some really good screenshots from it because I like to get pictures of me and him together, obviously, right? So I put that picture there because it meant something to me. And y'all, between that post and that, I made $1,800 in that first in that month that I started doing the Facebook group, with Facebook posting. And every bit of that came from this one ad. Something else I learned later is the fact that the respectful people, the seniors, and y'all gonna love seniors. Do not count seniors out at all. Seniors are old school in the mentality of sacrifice, believe, commitment. They know that a business isn't going to be made overnight. It's not really, probably should be made in a week. I kind of contradict that with Exodus Elite, I'm sure. But the whole point is, y'all, they think the right way. And the younger generation, y'all, a 20-year-old, and I'm not knocking them too, because I got a couple of sharp ones. I got really sharp one. Kevin's really sharp. Tickle death, love talking to him. But he's an exception to the rule. A 20-year-old now comes up in this is going to say, let's try this for a week. If it doesn't work, it's a scam, and I'm going to go to the next one. They think just because they sign up that money's supposed to start shooting out your computer. It's not even close. It's not going to happen like that. But in their mind and their mindset of it, that's all the attention span they've got. Where I've got a 65-year-old, 70-year-old, 72-year-old, they know this is going to take some time, some commitment, and I love it. I absolutely love it, man. I got Vera, I've got Mr. Bill Murdoch. I've got so many people that are great, and I'm not gonna name them all because I'd miss a bunch of them, I'm sure. But I love the seniors. I may have to teach somebody how to right click a mouse. I know that sounds crazy, but y'all, I would rather have that than to have that 20-year-old that's not going to be in it. You know what I'm saying? Is out the door. That's just me. It's me personally. It's not worth it. Okay, so what I learned was if I post something very personal and respectful and it's sincere, it got a whole lot of attention. Now, what I had to do is I was learning that people were liking it and getting comments, but I know it sounds crazy. Call to action, y'all, has got to happen. If you do not put call to action in any post, you will be amazed at what happens. Secondly, as simple as it may sound, y'all, I would tell people, go ahead and sign up at minimum. It's free to do, and I'll go ahead and welcome you into the Facebook group and get you some more information. You're going to love this Facebook group. It's full of the incredible people that do exactly what we do and make incredible money. I am working it up. Now, after all that time, and I'm letting them know that I'm going to send them into the Facebook group stuff and say, you hear all that stuff, right? It sounds beautiful, but what did I really want them to do? Go ahead and say, go ahead and sign up at minimum. Just putting that in there, y'all. I know it's hard to believe. I swear it's hard to believe. People walked around the hallways of my business without ever signing up. The moment I started putting that call to action in there, y'all go ahead and sign up at minimal. I'll welcome you into the Facebook group. I'll get you some more information. And listen, it kind of rolled off my tongue, right? It's the very first thing I taught, go ahead and sign up at minimal. And then I explained why. And then I wanted to give them a reason why they want to do it. And that works, man. It really works. I don't know if it's child psychology. I don't know what it is, but people do it. They will jump in there, especially if it's free for them to come through the door, even though they hadn't done anything yet. They love that, man. And even if it don't, go ahead and still tell them the same thing. And hold through to your promise. Welcome them into the Facebook group. You said you would, right? When you welcome somebody into the Facebook group and you're telling somebody how good the Facebook group is that you've got for your business, they have got a certain viewpoint already. That's going to be a great one. So they got, these rose glasses, sort of, when they're coming into the room. And if you've been doing that the whole time, and they came into that group the same way, and they know that, Tom Moore is probably the best one I've seen in my Facebook group for welcoming people. I can't tell you how much that's meant to me personally. I know it sounds crazy to some of y'all, but it's not. That kind of person there is going to give a warm welcome. And that is what these new people are looking for. They want a connection. They want a connection. Now, this is straight out of Frank Calabro's mouth recently. The reason you want to put them in the Facebook groups is so you can see other people who are successful. And it legitimizes, I'm surprised I said it right, legitimizes your business. It's not theory. They get to see that people are doing the results, and it's very important. So you do want to welcome them into the Facebook group, okay? And make sure they stay connected. Third, y'all, something else to think about. Just because I'm their sponsor does not mean we click, okay? That doesn't mean I'm not there for them. But it doesn't mean that they're not going to find somebody else that they like better in the Facebook group. And you know what? That's fine. I want them to connect. That's why they're there. I want them to connect with whoever they want to connect with. Just know that when they need help or if they need anything, that you're there for them. That's what a sponsor is. Sponsor does not mean you have to get along, okay? I've got some people that I could talk to on the phone and it just feel like I can't even say a word, It's like, why'd you call? If I can't tell you anything, you already know everything. I've seen people like that, but it doesn't matter. If they come into the business with me, then I'm just going to be what they need me to be, if they'll keep their mouth shut long enough for me to tell them. So that's what I do. So it's real important to me. Okay, now, the reason I told you that you want to start off with this when it's from day one you don't have anything is because you don't have anything. And it's going to get you respectful people that's going to get in your business. That's going to be the kind of leads you're looking for. Okay, there are two types of people in Facebook, y'all. Learn to make both happy. What I learned how to make both happy with, y'all, is whatever you've accomplished, it doesn't matter what it is. If you've, if you've got anything that you can post as far as a proof of income, if you need that from me, you know what I'm saying? If it is day one for you, which honestly, y'all, ain't gonna take long. You should start getting something if you're getting out to the people. Excuse me. Then ask that, Ask somebody. Don't lie to people and tell them it's yours, okay? In my opinion, that's one of the worst things you can do because they're going to come up underneath you. They're going to see that it's not real. They're going to see sooner or later that you've been lying, and you're going to lose credibility. It's not worth losing credibility, period, okay? Let's see, Jeffrey Lynn, he did a YouTube video recently. He did an excellent job. He uses Ari Maccabees for Exodus Elite, and, he's like, this is one of the members I know personally very well, and he's done this much. Bam. That's good enough, y'all. You don't have to sit here and act like it's yours, okay? I've heard some people fake it till you make it. I know everybody's heard it or probably thinking it right now. It's just not necessary. It's not necessary. That's my opinion. Be sincere with people, and that's going to work. But you do have that proof of income kind of people right here. It doesn't necessarily have to be just proof of income. It can show the number of members you've got into a month or something like that. Number one, the leaderboard, anything that shows recognition that you are, what word am I looking for? Credible, that you're a credible person. You know what I'm saying? I think if you can post something there, if there's a proof of income, that's absolutely great. A lot of times, y'all don't think the big ones are going to work because sometimes they don't. When I started making over $10,000 a month, and I was showing my daily income where I was taking it to Payza every day, right? What happened is people lose connection with you because they don't see themselves doing that. I know that sounds crazy. They don't see themselves. If you were doing $30 a day and missed a couple of days and have the next one, they can relate to that and they would tear it up. I know it sounds crazy. When I was in the freebie sites and I was doing $33 every day and I would show a big old thing, they loved it, man. I'm telling you, could not get enough of that showing my PayPal where it was every day just $33 or $66 sometimes, maybe $99. But consider that to putting $350, $330 every day for 2 weeks, and I'm showing it there, and it's showing my Payza account. They don't hit it. They won't hit it. And, and Frank Calabro had a theory about this, and I've seen it to be true now more than ever. If he's sitting in a bar, and the guy sitting beside him say, "Hey, buddy, what you do for a living?" "Well, I got an online business, and I make about $70,000 a month." The guy ain't going to register that 90% of the time. They're not going to register $70-some thousand a month. It's not. It's just not going to happen. Okay. Now, "Hey, buddy, what you do for a living?" "Well, let's see. I'm really interested in a little job a business I got on the side. I figured out a way to make a couple extra $100 a week, or something like that. And man, bam, well, tell me about it, or whatever you're going to talk about." They have no problem hearing that because that is feasible to them. In the world of Facebook, I think there's a good deal of that. So if you go with the really, really big numbers and think you're going to impress somebody, it's not always going to happen, just to let you know. Okay. Now, this is real good here. Double up on your post, first comment below. Okay. Obviously, here's the first post now. Now, understand, this first one right here, the sincere one, that's absolutely great, but you're going to have to learn to do more than that, and you cannot have just touchy-feely ones all the time. Okay? Touchy-feely ones are, you're going to get tired of them, to be honest, and they're going to see it too much. If you just keep going every day with the same ones in the same 17, 18 Facebook groups, they're going to get wore out, is what's going to happen. What you want to do is, you want to take this really, really good one right here, use it for a little while, but in that time, you want to be learning how to do other ones, right? Maybe this one down here, maybe 3 or 4. If you've got 3 or 4 really good ads, and you take them and you put them in your arsenal, you got an arsenal bag right here, these 3 or 4 different ads, yo, you got an incredible way of making money. Do not think it takes every day being some guru slick ad. It's not. It's not. Now, the reason I suggested this one first is because of the fact that, like I said, if you're starting off from day one and you don't have anything, that is a great way to get, any kind of leads to go through, and they feel good about you, right? Now, so that's real, real important. Now, what I was saying earlier about enriching your post, there's no better way to enrich in your post than to get the number of messages up and to also get the number of likes up. Now, every time I post, I always put my link in here. I know you heard me say that earlier, and I put a call to action just like I described. Now, when it comes down here, I'm going to have this link down here also. Now, this may be the first one that's going to be, the proof of income or whatever down here, and I would suggest having a second one. And you want to make both people happy. The respectful people that's going to say, "Oh, ain't that cute," kind of thing. And then you have the hardcore ones that want this right here. There's also 2 different types of people. They're the ones who actually take the time to read it and see the link. That's great, because that's your initial goal. They're going to hit it. Bam, it's going to go, right? Then you got the ones who's got the Facebook mentality. What's Facebook mentality? It means that they're going to ask for information. And you're going to see info. The words info, and that's going to be it. Okay? Now, that's really a good thing. Even though they're hard-headed and they see there's a link here and a link down here, and why in the world they didn't just hit the link? You're asking yourself, well, that's stupid. Well, it's not. Because the person that just hit this link didn't do anything to enrich in your post. They may be already over here, and that's a great fallback. That's absolutely awesome. But what did they do for your post? Nothing, right? Now, this person here to ask for information, what did they do? They brought it back to the top of the group. Every time someone comments, they bring it back to the top. So, if it's 5 o'clock, 5:30, and earlier, like I was describing, at 2 o'clock in the evening, somebody asks for information, and then I'd have 2 or 3 asking for information, do not just go ahead and tag all of them together on one and do it. No. You want as many messages as you can. If there is a reason to message, then you do it. Okay? Now, very, very, very important. Be respectful in your messages. Secondly, give great answers. I mean great answers. Every time that you write something in that post, and this post is getting enriched, and it keeps coming back to the top and to the bottom, to top, right? This thing right here, y'all, is going to be a big snowball effect. Now, if you give great answers in there, the people that hit that list, that post, are going to see what you're about. This person is going to grasp that whether or not you're a good sponsor, if you got knowledge about your business, you're educated in your own business, and anything about, they can stand out about you, they're going to perceive that from it. Now, the person who asks for information, let's say this is Jim. Hey, Jim, thanks for messaging. And then you've got a copy and paste if you want to. That's fine. Use that copy and paste. Put it in there. I'm not going to be all day long making up new things when I'm managing all my Facebook group getting killed. I'm sorry, my Facebook account getting killed with leads coming in. It's just, it's not going to happen. It's going to kill me. So, you want to have a copy and paste to put there, but you're going to put their real name there and you're going to tag it. Now, if you can't tag it, it doesn't even matter. Okay, to be honest. What I'm looking for is to enrich in the post more than anything. Yeah, no, that's absolutely a fact. Secondly, if I tagged them, people are going to see that I was respectful to that person. Hey, Jim, and then just started, off. And if it doesn't tag them, that's okay. It doesn't matter either way. And even though Jim may never ever see it, it's the fact that the other people are, and it's enriching my post. And I gave a great answer. I never ever do Facebook where I don't feel like I'm giving a great answer. Because if you don't feel like you're impressing, you're probably not. That's just a fact. And they're going to be observing that. They will hit that link. This person come through and seen you had 6 comments down here, right? Every time I get a chance to do a message for everyone, then you message. It's that important. Okay? Listen to this. Remember what I said earlier. Anybody, for any reason that you have an opportunity to put a comment, to message, do it. Okay? Somebody put a like on this message up here, or this one down here, right? Watch this. Hey, Gina, thanks for the like. I put a smiley face. Look, y'all. And I go right below that. Now, this may not be necessarily made just for her. It's a universal message. Look, y'all. Just take this seriously. I'm going to go and tell you, I've done online businesses before. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. You want to say comments just like that. It's going to grasp attention. It's going to grab attention, and it's going to be something real. And then you're going to have a proof of income or something down here. You understand what I'm saying? That is a perfect time to be posting something like that. It builds credibility. It gives, again, you're giving perfect example. Nobody has ever seen anybody thank anybody for a like. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all. I had a lot of people coming to Traffic Monsoon, at the very, very, very beginning when I first started Traffic Monsoon. They came in from a like, to be honest. I remember Ari Maccabee. I went in this Facebook group one day and showed people to where I had a lady just go active, and it was all from a like. She never even hit the link until after I'd sent back. And I've seen it so many times, y'all. Any reason that you can enrich in your posts, you do it. You do it, you do it, you do it. Okay? Now, the reason I only have the 17 Facebook groups right now is because if I'm going to do this in just Facebook, and you want to stay focused at one way, y'all, master one way. If I'm only going to stay focused at one thing, I need to get out there at the right times. I need to get out there 3 to 4 times a day. Okay? Leave between the 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock alone. If you are free from a job, use that time to let people call you on the phone. That's perfect timing. Okay? I've seen times where somebody would call me at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night and want to talk about the business. And now, I make $1,000 a phone call, basically what it amounts to now, right? So that's one thing, understand that. But then when I was trying to get leads all the time with just Facebook, and it was a smaller amount, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I would lose 20 leads because of the phone call. I'm not going to do that. I can't afford that. You know what I'm saying? I would let somebody know if you want to call me, hey buddy, I'll call you back in just a little bit. Right now I'm just getting killed with, with messages. And that's what I tell them. and then I would set up a time between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock to call them back. I'm not going to lose my lead numbers because of someone that may have a question or something like necessarily at that time. Now, that's my own personal, that's what I did personally. But I've seen it where that disruption could kill my lead numbers for that night, and that could have been easily 20 or 30 leads while I was sitting there on the phone. Okay, so it's very, very important. If you're going to stay dedicated to this, you need to be rolling it out. Secondly, when you're doing 3 to 4 times a day, it's in about 17 Facebook groups, y'all. In my opinion, it'll wear you out, because these two together, plus managing that, and then watching out for the likes and everything, it's going to have your attention. You know what I'm saying? So even though yes, you could go through and post it pretty quick, you need to manage it. So that's real important. Manage it correctly. Okay? So let's keep going now. All right. I mainly said all that together because it needed to come out all at one time. Now I'm going to just make sure everything goes through here. I've got everything over here. Double up on your first post, comment below. Always. First comment, bam. Second comment is sitting right here. And that second comment is going to be something that, is different than the first one. Touchy-feely, and this is going to be like a proof of income or something. That is a great combination because it makes both types of people happy. Makes them both happy. And the people who ask him for info, y'all, put it down there. Okay, go ahead and put it down there. It's going to help you out. Okay, always give respectful answers. You are being watched. Do not forget it. Do not forget you're being watched. That's very, very important. Always enriching your posts, messages, likes, you and them. So in other words, when you're done with this post, go ahead and put a like here. Always like your own content, or even a love. Now they do that as opposed, now. So that's pretty sweet. You can do that. Links in them always. Some of y'all understand the theory behind it. Okay, I can make a streamer that is ridiculous. Okay, I've done it. I've done these huge streamers with people asking for info, and you get all the ones who really are usually not that respectful, to be honest. I hate to say it, but that's just the mindset that goes with it. It seems like these are always the same people who are asking for the information with the guy that has the money thrown on his crotch and he took a picture of it. I can't stand those type, to be honest. But in my opinion, when people are asking for the info, and you're not putting out the link down below it, I have learned that you're working your tail off and the lead numbers are not there. They don't do it. Even if you go to their, they friend me on Facebook, and if they do or don't, and then if you have to go to them and find them and then send it, the lead numbers are not there. Does it look awesome to have this huge streamer going down? Yes, it is. It's beautiful. But if the bottom line is I'm not getting leads, then where's it the benefit? And I'm telling you, I've done both. And some of y'all might fight that. Fight it if you want. You make it work for you. Whatever works for you is what I want you to do. But I'm going to flat out tell you that if you're doing that and you got me doing this, I'm going to spank you. And this one right here does not have the streamers down below it. I don't care. I'm telling you, you're better off to do that 3 to 4 times a day, about 17 per group, managing the way I said, and get ridiculous lead numbers. Ridiculous lead numbers, than to sit here and have somebody that's going to ask for the information and they never go anywhere farther. And you just got a streamer. You're just being pretty. That's it. If that's what you want to do, then great. Okay. Friend them on Facebook. Okay, you see down here, number 9. Friend them on Facebook and message them the same comment and same picture. Now, if you are brand new and you need to get some numbers up, you need to get people to see you on your timeline, you know what I'm saying, things like that, go ahead and friend this person on Facebook. You need to friend them on Facebook, okay? Because you need to get some numbers up. You need to have a following, you know what I'm saying? And this following, if they see your timeline and you're consistent in the same business from day one, and a year later you're still just churning out that same business, or 6 months or whatever, you know who you are. You are that person. Hey, Jim, he's the traffic monsoon guy, or whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? That is the reputation that you want to get. Secondly, they're going to be watching you, man. They already friended you on Facebook. Believe me, you're going to have them up there connecting with you. So you want to keep going. And in due time, if something happens and you want that new business, and you don't go constantly throwing links at them all the time, they're going to be intrigued that, oh my God, Sean is not doing traffic monsoon. You don't think I didn't hear that one? Look at my Facebook group, man. They are still in shock that, I had to change the name, but I need to make it universal. Something's going to brand me. And I love those people, man, but I know they can't afford to do what we're doing. Not everybody in there right now because the fund's tied up in traffic monsoon. I know the situation. I'm not stupid. I'm good at figuring things out. But at the same time, it does grab people's attention when they say, hey, you know what? Sean's moving forward. It's got to go. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Okay? So friend them on Facebook. Now, when I friend somebody on Facebook and if I send a message to them, if they ask for information, and I'm going to do that, I make it the same comment that I put here in the post. I literally, say, hey, Gina, say, thanks for the message or something like that. And then I would copy this entire thing, paste it here. And what I do, y'all, is I would take the same picture that they liked, whichever one it was, whatever it was, and I would put it here. The reason why I do that is if I don't have this and if they don't check their comments for a week, or anything like that, they're not going to know who this is. They're not going to remember you. They're not going to remember that they asked for this information. So, and they're going to overlook that. I have seen many times that this is a residual that they came back to me, and I know that they did it because this, and they'd pop up saying thanks, and it's been a week ago. I was like, really? It took a week? But that's fine. And if that's how it works out, then that's how it works out. But at least you went ahead and planted the information. They can remember the picture, they remember this, they remember you, whatever it was, personal part of you, if that'd be great if that's what they did. Send them both pictures, man. I have no problem doing that. I really don't. I do it all the time. This picture right here could have been the reason that people got in. You never know. Use it for your advantage. And people are going to acknowledge that they wanted that information from you in the first place. And I'm sorry, y'all. I told you, I'm teaching you everything I know about Facebook. So if y'all like it or not, you can drop it, quit, whatever you want to do. But I'm telling you, this bad boy here got me free from a job. So listen to what I'm trying to tell you, okay? Keep going. Number 10, phone. I was talking about the phone earlier, right? There's 2 apps I use. Now, you don't have to use the exact same apps, but you understand what I mean when I'm saying these 2 apps. Number 1 is going to be Color Notes. Color Notes, I have got thousands of Color Notes. And the yellow ones are what I use to post in the groups with. The green ones are so that I can answer people. If somebody says... if they like some information, that I'm gonna personally send them, and that's the one I do. So that's the green one, and I'll use that same green one to go right here. Whatever somebody asks for information about it, that's what I personally do myself, and it has always worked really good for me staying organized. If I need some links, necessarily right there. If I have a training page, if I have my YouTube channel, if I had something. Whatever links to whatever business, whatever it was I was doing, then I'd have them all together and it'd be like an orange one. It is so easy to stay organized with Color Notes, and it works really well. And not only that, y'all, when I send an email, the email itself, I could take a picture, put the picture in there, have everything together, save up to 10 of them at one time and lock them so they don't go anywhere. And I just literally tap the button, bam, and I Gmail everybody. And you always want to use a Gmail account because Gmail is more universal for the online business. So every business will be able to use Gmail and get it through it just fine. Okay. Now, PhotoGrid is how I do a lot. If you've seen the top of my Facebook group, if you've seen any of my advertisements, y'all understand I'm using my phone to make these with, and PhotoGrid is absolutely incredible. It's PhotoGrid. It's free for the Android. It's free on the Apple products and stuff like that. So you just get it, man. If you want to use something else different, that's fine. But at least on the phone, because it's not in the PC world, at least on the phone, I would highly suggest that because it has really done everything I wanted it to do. My web pages are made off of PhotoGrid as well, if you really want to know the truth. In the PC world, y'all, I think Canva, Canva.com. And if you've seen my other training, I actually show a little bit of Canva in there where I've done some stuff for Facebook posting. I would highly suggest using that. It's very easy to use. I can go back and change something in 2 seconds. I did a video recently on YouTube art, and I use Canva to do the art in there, and you'll see that as well. But I would highly suggest Canva.com. That's awesome. Okay, let's get to this side over here. Y'all, this is very, very important. You have to commit to this, okay? You have to. Don't do Facebook and then try to learn. I'm sorry, do not do Facebook and try to learn something else, okay? Because you really need to focus at Facebook to make it work for you. And once you've got it, it's like anything, you'll never lose it. And this thing here can be a beast for getting leads, so do not underestimate it because you haven't figured it out yet, okay? Do not. I know right now I could get 50 leads at any given day from a dead stop from right now and give me 24 hours with Facebook, and that's all I do. I know that for a fact. Now, overlap of leads. And the reason I say this is just because the 24 hours is up, these posts don't disappear. What happens? They're floating around. Have you ever seen before where 3 days later something comes up, or something like that? Y'all, this is the exact same way. I had gotten in July of, not this year, but last year of 2015, I had actually gotten to where I was doing over 100 leads a day, every day. And me and my little boy had gone to Myrtle Beach. And that Sunday, I didn't post at all. I just took the whole day off, didn't do anything with it. And I got over 70 leads from the residual buildup from all these days prior, just by staying committed and consistent. Okay? So, yes, you do want to be consistent about this. Okay? Another thing, y'all, I just don't have it posted up here. I don't think I do. You do want to have, okay, I do. I got it right. Have a second account. I'm talking about second Facebook account. Okay. So 3 to 4 times a day, y'all. I would say before 2 o'clock, probably 8 o'clock in the morning. If I'm talking East Coast time, so just take that in consideration. East Coast. 8, 9 o'clock in the morning is absolute great time to be posting. Lunchtime is a great time to post right on up to about 2 o'clock. Quit at 2 o'clock. I'm talking about this thing like hits a wall severely. How do I know? It's just not assumption. It's at 20 plus. Man, they just stop. They just stop. It's amazing. It's like Facebook said, okay, world, we're taking a break. That's what it's like. And in the wintertime, 5 o'clock, y'all, 5:30, it's going to be getting darker sooner. People are going to be coming home, and they're going to start posting. They're going to start looking up on Facebook. You want to be in that 5:30 time. If you can get at 5 o'clock and get that first listing through, and then start commenting on the likes and the messages and stuff like that, at the right time at 5:30, you're going to be hyped up, and then it's going to be rolling. You got that wave coming, right? And I've seen as many as 7 leads in 1 minute. Absolutely, when you're doing this the correct way. 1 minute with 7 leads is ridiculous. And I'm not talking about a couple of the same ones. I know some people seen that before. No, it's different people. Absolutely incredible. In the wintertime, that's how that goes. Summertime, y'all, people are in the yard. July is vacation time. Different parts of the year and stuff like that. Now, I know some schools in some parts of the world are going to be year-round school. Other things are not. There's certain things that play, in the factors. But usually July is going to be a lot of summertime heat, playing outside, working in the yard, whatever they're doing. And they're not going to be there at 5 o'clock or 5:30. In my opinion, 7 o'clock, y'all, 6:30, 7 o'clock, you need to start watching that and see if it's starting to have some activity taking place. Something I did that I learned that really was awesome was when we had a leaderboard and members were coming in, I could watch the leaderboard. And when these people, if they're first, second, third place, or fourth, whatever they were, when those members started coming in, that's when the activity was taking place. So I could sometimes would not even start till I saw the members starting to move on the leaderboard, and that's when I did it. So in my opinion, a leaderboard's pretty awesome just for that, if it's about members, coming into the business. So that's pretty sweet. Okay, now let's go to, manage your leads, y'all. It's just like I said, you're going to have to enrich in your posts. You're going to have to be there answering your comments and stuff like that. And just to let you know, all through the night, y'all, is perfect. 9 o'clock is a hot time. 7:30 is the ridiculous time to be out there posting. So you want that wave starting to come up. Right on up to midnight, right on up to the next morning till 8 o'clock in the morning. Just that small window between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock, it just always is a flat spot. It's any time of year a flat spot on the East Coast, so I'd highly suggest dodging that. And everywhere else is fine. I don't care where it is. And don't think that everybody is overseas, or something like when it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I know everybody thinking, they're long, long ways. No, I get a lot of people from all over the world at those times There's nothing wrong with that at posting that time. Okay, and remember, the West Coast is also 3 hours behind. So our hot time at 9 o'clock could be them getting off of work, and bam, it's coming together at the same time. So that's very, very important. Okay, I personally email all my people myself. Okay, now there's several reasons I do this for. Number one, I know some people ain't gonna like this; they're gonna fight it. But I've got the copy off of my color notes, and when I go to do an email, it shows the email down there. I would click it, and then all I have to do is match color notes, and I put down the whole comment I've already made, and I put their name in there. I always put their name in there unless they didn't have a name in there, or if I had a hard time remembering it for whatever reason. Sometimes I wouldn't, but I always try to put their name there. And then even the top part where it comes into subscription, subject, I put their name in there also. Hey, such and such. This is Sean, the traffic monsoon guy, or whatever it might have been that I was saying in that comment. That's exactly what I did. And I would do it all day long. I wouldn't let my emails build up, because if you're doing like 50 to 100 or somewhere like that, it will give you out. And secondly, I think that because I did them every time, people liked the fact that I saw them when they came through. They were always impressed with that. Oh yeah, hey Jim, how you doing? I saw when you come through, buddy. Yeah, I think you came through twice. They are, some people are real impressed that I even knew they came through twice. Little things like that, So in my opinion, that's just a tiny little give me thing. Gmail's always been rock solid to make sure they get the emails. I don't have no problem with that. And let's see here. I personally email my people myself. I think that's about it on that. I was thinking I was going to say something else about it, but anyhow, okay. Avoid the slowest time between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock Eastern time. Having second account. Okay, not only do I have a second account because I want to stay away from my family and friends, if I'm just posting in Facebook, y'all, I would honestly say I may have a second account for that one too. I'd have one for just business, then I'd have one just for posting, okay? Understand, like I told you earlier, people thought Sean was going to post something incredible or something like that, and it's not necessary. I need to have my space sometimes, so I think that's one reason. So I'd say for privacy is real important. That's why I put private. Safety, y'all. Safety means if this is the only way I'm going to get out to the people, if Facebook decides to put me in Facebook jail over something stupid, and it's very possible they could at times, it doesn't stop my business. I'm still going, okay? And that's exactly how I look at it. You could even have 2 Facebook accounts if you wanted to. Have one for your business account, one for the other, and then you would post every other one. Like go through a whole list one time, go to the other one, and it takes stress off of both those Facebook accounts. And to be honest, if you want to, you could do more than 3 or 4 times a day. That's entirely up to you, but I'm just saying, if I think 3 or 4 times a day is perfect. I was getting more leads with a real posting 3 to 4 times a day than I was with an auto poster with 100 groups. So this way right here works. It's more sufficient. People know it's real people, and it just seems like something's more magical about it. It just works better than an auto poster. That's my opinion. Okay. Hang-ups and can learn from it. Like I said earlier, it gave me an opportunity so I could get out there and try stuff. If it didn't work, you ain't lost anything, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Learn to just get out there and try it, and know that you're not going to quit. You're just trying to find that 3 or 4 to put in your arsenal bag, and that's it, to be honest, okay? And hang-ups, y'all. Like I said, if you got family and friends and you don't want them seeing what you're doing necessarily, I know people's got their certain techniques of, okay, just only do closed groups and blah, 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 and stuff like that, right? Personally, y'all, it just makes it a whole lot easier. Just go get you a second account and just roll with it. That's really what I highly suggest. And that way you ain't got to worry about family and friends. If anybody tries to friend you, you can send them a message. Hey, Steve, buddy, I was just going to let you know this is my business account. So I probably won't be adding you over here. You'd be only seeing stuff with business. But as far as, family and friends, I've got this one, and here's the link. Or something like that. My grandma, she don't need to see what I'm posting on Facebook about business and videos like this. That's my personal opinion. So I'm going to do this last part real quick. Golden rules. Facebook is about standing out. Okay? It's not about getting seen. You're going to get standing. You're going to have to stand out. And the 20 plus, learn right here that whether or not your groups are active or good. Never less than 25,000. Over a period of time, you can weed out the smaller ones and go for the bigger ones. Why do I do that? Because people believe that if a number of groups if a big number of people are in a group, that's a better group. And if they think that, then they're going to join it, and it's going to be a better group. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of ironic, but that's exactly how it happens because of the fact that they believe it is, so they join it, and because they joined it, then it is better. So that's how it works out. Okay. Let's see. Not getting seen. Let's see. Facebook is about staying out, not getting seen. You're already getting seen as a given. These are the trenches. Now, what I'm going to say about trenches are you've got to get out there, y'all. You cannot sit inside a Facebook group of your business and just be a social club with the people who are already in. If you put 90% of your time and focus towards getting out here, and at least until you build your business and you got a following, you're going to make it. Facebook is a beast. I don't think there's another way, better way of getting leads, mad lead numbers, than what I'm describing to you right now. I'm dead serious, y'all. And I've got videos to back it up. Go back and look on my YouTube channel. You're going to see me getting stupid amount of leads. You know, I can tell you, what was it, 1,270, 1,200, I can't remember how many it was. I've got some videos showing it. But I remember I had over 10,250 views in 30 days to my business. It's just ridiculous, okay? For free, not spending a dime. Not getting seen, that's a given. These are the trenches. While you're out there in the trenches, y'all, I consider that every day putting the effort in. Don't only look at the people who do what you do. Look around you, man. If this guy over here is like, wow, look at that, that's awesome. Wow, look at this, you know. I'm looking at that streamer they got right here, man. That's pretty awesome. What did he do to get that? You know, not necessarily about the streamer itself that wanting to do that without the link, but what are they doing right? You can learn from anybody. I learned from my downline. There's a lady named Miss Trudy. Man, she does an awesome job. You know, she stands out so well. She does some things better than I do. You know, I think I've seen several people. I got a Miss Cindy, Cindy Tilson. She makes better content than I do, but my lead numbers are just, I'm not putting her down, but I eat up just about anybody because of the fact of how I manage it. People can sense it, y'all. And there's a certain vibration, I've heard people mention that before, a certain vibe when you're being sincere and just telling people how you think, how you feel about it, and it's going to work, okay? Now, I'm about to bring this to an end. I know this has been a long video. Learn from everything you do and don't give up, okay? Y'all, if you're posting and it don't work, first of all, never forget the fact that no matter what I'm going to do here, I'm going to focus it one way at Facebook. I'm already getting seen. I just got to learn to stand out, period. This is what all this is about. What am I looking for? About 3 or 4 to put in my arsenal bag. That's really all I need for right now. That's really all I got to have. Post at the right times. If you're going to try a new ad out, make sure it's at the right times, because if it's not the right times, you're not learning anything. You know what I'm saying? You've got to be posting at the times that are effective to be viewed, or you're not really learning what this ad's going to do. So you can have a great ad at 3 o'clock in the evening trying it, and you ain't going to get nothing. See what I'm saying? So just be smart about it. But if you know that you're not going to quit, and I did from day one, I already knew that all I had to do was figure out how to get seen. Not how to get seen, but how to stand out. I already knew I was getting seen. Then I knew that the lead numbers would come. And that's exactly what came up. Y'all, I know I said a lot. I know about lost my voice. And some of y'all might have got bored about halfway through it. You know, but the point is, I don't know of a better way for me to tell you how to do this than to do what I just said. And how do I know? Like I said, y'all, I quit 6 months with nothing more than a phone. I led leaderboards. I was getting 325 members in a month. And what I'm telling you, it just simply works. It makes sense. It builds you as credible, your credibility before they go in. Every time this post comes back to the top, it's going to get popped. And every time it gets popped, you're going to have a new comment down there. You're going to give a great answer. You're going to impress both types of people. And look, y'all, if you even have anybody trying to put you down, you got to be educating your business. I will look forward to them, because anybody who comments, I don't care good or bad, I know my business better than they do. I'm confident about that. And on top of that, y'all, I'll stand up to my business, but I won't be disrespectful if I don't have to be. And I know I'm getting seen. And guess what? Every time they comment, bam, bam, bam. What's happened to my post? Coming to the top. I hope we argue. I hope the guy argues with me for 10 minutes, to be honest, because I'm going to get a mad amount of leads when he's doing it. Okay? Y'all, I'm telling you, this is the way I do Facebook. I don't think I'll ever change it. I will do timeline, and believe me, it won't take me probably about 3 minutes to do. I covered a lot of content in here because it needed to be covered. I don't know of anything I would have took out, to be honest. So if you need to look at this, or if you want me to send you this or anything like that, y'all, it's very, very, it's not a problem. Just give you something to look at. If y'all implement what I'm telling you 3 to 4 times a day, y'all, get the right ones. That little arsenal starting to go. Get that personal one. Miss Vera, I'm proud of you, sweetie, for putting out something that I thought was really good. Grandma working. She said, "Where's Grandma?" Working. Right across the top. And I thought it got really good. I think it had a good vibe to it itself. You put this together, y'all. You be sincere about it, and it's gonna work.